Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
The millennial pause. Not you counting down from 5 for me to start as if I needed like an extra head start.
I honestly don't know why I went with 5.
And 8, 7, like...
Why didn't I start at 4 or 6?
I'm
or 8?
Jen.
I'm Neal.
This is Neal.
I'm Jen.
I'm Canadian.
I'm Japanese.
He's American.
Yes.
I take a gummy. He doesn't. Usually he's supposed to keep me in track, but I can just see that he's intentionally trying to get me going right now.
This is a big one because we're talking about the entire season of Traitors Canada Season 3.
Traitors Canada. If you're not Canadian, find a way to watch it. Such a good season. People are so well spoken at the round table. You can make fun of our accents if you want. There is someone on the show from where I'm from. I will say that. Do you think our accents are similar? I can tell she's from a very different part of the province than me.
I'm from the Midwest U.S., so like...
You can't tell the accents apart. But you can tell that there's an accent.
I can tell her accent, yes.
From everyone else's?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Hers and Coco had the...
Yeah, I wonder where Coco's from. She must be from Atlantic Canada.
So...
She was on 2 seasons, so we got to start from the beginning.
Yes. It was a mix of normal people and celebrity-ish people.
And how do you feel about that? By the way, we talk about pop culture and reality TV.
Yes. So, in the past, on Traitors seasons
I feel like you usually don't like the normies.
Well, let me explain it.
Okay.
I have been against mixing normal players with quote-unquote gamers.
But who do you hate the most?
Housewives.
Yeah. The category you're leaving out.
I said this earlier when we were watching this season of Traitors Canada. We are now in season 3 of Canada, season 4 of the US, like season 6 of UK. Like it's all over the world now. Every freaking country has a Traitors.
We need to catch up on all the English speaking ones and then also the not English speaking ones.
So by now, everyone has seen and knows how the game is played. So there's no excuse for a normal person to come in or a housewife and not know how to play the game, which was evident this season because everyone knew how to play the game and they did it very well. So now that we're a few seasons in, I would expect
the normies that you get are like fans.
Yes, like how super fans of Survivor are good at the game. Yeah.
But do you oversaturate with super fans? I think either way, your casting is getting better as well. So even your normies who like maybe don't know the game inside and out still know that they're here to play. Like they're still going to give it their all. There's something to be said for a group of people just all giving it their all.
Yes. And
to worse or less more or less favorable outcomes for each of them.
And the one housewife in this season was awesome.
Incredible! Kara! They were calling her Mama K. I wonder how much it hurts her ego to be considered the mom. I know she is a mom, but like as a housewife, to be like, oh, considered the mom of the group and just not another cool girl. Like, I'm a cool mom.
I mean, she was significantly older than like the rest of the cast, so...
She's so well-spoken. She's not a lawyer, but her husband is a lawyer, and she has worked, like, in his office as, like, a paralegal, really.
Right.
Working as a secretary, I guess. And she's just really well-spoken. She basically conducted a deposition at half the round tables.
Right. I think this was by far the best Canadian season.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah, maybe don't go back and watch the older ones. Don't start there. Start with this one.
You're going to be, if you watch the previous 2 seasons, which I barely even remember the first Canadian season, you're going to be very frustrated with how horrible the gameplay is and how bad the faithful play is. Like,
we're going to have spoiler alerts, right?
Yes, this is the whole spoilers moving forward. So introduce the original Traitors.
Okay.
So,
well, we are really
yes.
setting the time back.
Coco who's a stand-up comic / celebrity Big Brother Quebec person.
Twice, right?
Twice,
she's been on it twice, and she's made it to the final twice, but she's never won. So 2-time finalist.
Yes, and then the other one is Kevin who won Big Brother Canada.
I didn't think he won, but he says he won. Should I look it up?
You can look it up. Okay. So we've got 2 Big Brothers. So you're already picking 2 gamers off the bat. And then I forgot they choose. In the first episode, they then choose who the third traitor is.
Wait, what's his name?
Kevin.
Yeah, he won Big Brother Canada Season 10.
Okay, so you have 2 Big Brother players. Oh, and we forgot to mention the big twist. She tapped on the people that were going to be faithfuls and did not tap on the 2 that were traitors. So that was a switch up. They did editing magic and trolled everybody.
So you've been tapped. You're taking off your blindfold. You're trying to act normal. And then you find out that being tapped meant you were faithful. Are you relieved? Do you laugh? Like, how do you process that? They were trying to all take that information in and, like, suss out everyone else.
Right.
Like, oh, well, she drank water, and the only reason you would drink water was if you were relieved that you were a faithful, which means she wasn't tapped, which means she is a traitor. It's like, but what if she's trying to convince you of the opposite? Like, I just like that there's mystery.
Yes, that was a cool change of pace. Because we had no idea.
And Corinne is doing such a good job.
I
love her. As much as I love Alan.
Alan's still number 1, but she is definitely number 2.
Yeah. But then I like the UK lady too, right? With the awesome hair.
OG because they had the first season. But Alan,
I love her too.
He's
wonderful.
Yes.
He's putting on the performance of a lifetime.
He's won the Emmy for it.
Yes.
So
the beef looks kind of dry.
They get to pick
oh, but it's him. Oh, I'm so mean.
They pick the third traitor, and they end up choosing another.
Yeah, so that's another twist. There were only 2.
Yes, they choose between 2 gamers. I don't remember his name. Ty, a Big Brother player,
who was like buddies with Kevin. So Kevin picked him.
But then Coco wanted Venus of Survivor fame, who I did not like on Survivor.
Right.
I thought she was playing the mean girl role hardcore. She did not win
like 2
Survivor.
On purpose, you mean?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
So they end up going with...
I feel like she was more human in this show, which makes more sense because Survivor must take some of your humanity, you know?
Yes.
Living outside.
Kevin gives up and they go with Venus.
Right, so they find out, they think they're recruiting 2 traitors, or they don't really know what they're doing, but it's that they have to keep one and murder the other.
Right.
So, like, Coco stands her ground. So this is the first moment Coco gets her way in the game. And I think it was such a good choice on Coco's part, and so smart of her to fight for Venus, because then Venus owed her.
Right.
Like, I could have just murdered you. And you know what? Venus actually did want to protect Coco. And I kind of loved their little duo.
Yes. So, but that immediately then Kevin's got a vendetta against Coco.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll go through the key moments of the season. Well, the first key moment of the season,
yes,
I think it was episode 2 or was episode 3, where in the round table, Kevin just goes right after Coco.
Yeah.
And like,
Coco and Shaughnessy, who's
yes,
our Newfoundlander.
Yes. And usually this would work, but it completely blew up in Kevin's face.
And everyone votes him out.
Yes. It was,
and he declares himself a mastermind.
It was bizarre, yes. So, normally then, okay, you would think, oh, it was traitor on traitor, because we've seen this because we all have watched the show.
So Coco was obviously a traitor. Kevin was trying to get her first to make it look like, oh, he's a faithful, and he got it right. We got to keep Kevin around. He's the best faithful ever. No, like, immediately backfired on him.
Yes.
Immediately. He totally read the tone. Like, he underestimated the people around him. He thought he could play them, and he got played.
Yeah, he was trying to
do something.
Before the round table, he was going around like, I think it's Coco, but don't say it's coming from me.
Yes!
And then he started the round table.
You could not be more suspicious.
It was really bizarre the way he did it. And yeah,
don't be suspicious.
He got booted, but somehow still thought he was a mastermind.
Okay, moving on.
Yes, so then you're thinking, oh, they're just going to get Coco out. And no one, like, each round table, then after that, it's like a few people vote for Coco, but then they vote somebody else.
But I need to break down your thoughts on this, because as we watched this, like, you broke it down so good every time. Like, you would have the best statements, and then something would change, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, never mind. And I feel like it speaks to the twists and turns of the game. When they voted out Kevin, you said they have to send Coco home next episode. Like, it's very blatant traitor on traitor violence. She has to go.
But we forgot the baller move.
Not recruiting anybody?
Well, when they do recruit, the Venus's shining moment. So after they boot out Kevin, they should have just gotten rid of Coco, but they don't. And then somebody else gets a ton of heat. Rhea.
Yes.
And so they don't recruit initially, but then they do recruit Rhea, who they were going to vote Coco, but then she switched her vote, and it was really weird.
She just looked super suspicious.
She, like, voted for Dom out of nowhere.
She had really rogue votes every week, and it literally was just because she was a bad faithful, which makes for such a good traitor recruit. She gets into the, like, turret with the girls, and immediately is like, oh, we're like a coven. This is a sisterhood. The sisterhood of witches. We're traitors. And, like, the whole time, Venus has recruited her to make sure there's someone to throw under the bus to get the heat off of Coco for at least a week.
Yes.
Which shouldn't work. Yes, this is what we were missing. That shouldn't work. It should have still been Coco, because Kevin called her out.
Yes, but
by the end of this whole ordeal, spoiler alert, they have most everyone convinced that Coco is a faithful. And Kevin was just completely trying to throw the scent off of his other traitors.
It didn't, no. That's why I think it didn't make sense for him to do that. With everyone having seen Traitors, no one does that anymore.
Like, throws out random faithfuls?
Right. If you're a traitor, you only throw out a traitor's name in that case.
Right.
Which is what he did. So, it was very surprising how many people moved off Coco the entire season. But the Rhea play was great.
I think what really clinched it, though, is that Omer and Kevin were like secret friends outside of the game, and there was a really beautiful emotional moment that I feel like could only happen in Canadian Traitors, which is another reason I love it so much. These people are still so human, even though some of them are reality stars, and there's just something very Canadian about it. I won't say humble, because they're all beautiful and they're all intelligent and but it's the je ne sais quoi of the Canadian
That was it. Rhea told everyone she was going to vote for Omer, and they agreed to do it with her because she was doing it. And they voted to get rid of him, and she randomly voted for Tom.
And so then it was like, what are you doing?
Right.
But they were so dumb to vote her because really she was just a bad faithful. But then because Venus recruited her, she had to stand up there and say, I am a traitor. So now they're like, oh, we got Rhea, we got a traitor. They think Rhea's been a traitor from the beginning. So now they're completely thrown off the traitors' path.
Right.
Now nothing that they're predicting is correct because Rhea was the recruit.
Except
She's been a traitor for 24 hours.
Except for Jericho, who was the one that Rhea was like, you need to vote Omer with me, who didn't want to vote Omer.
And then still, she regained his trust after that. Then she had to stand up there and say, I'm a traitor. He cried at the table. I felt so bad. I wanted her to be able to be like, but I've only been one for like 24 hours. I promised that you could trust me before that moment. I just got recruited. Like, I felt so badly.
And then they voted him out.
So then I was like, oh, good. They'll probably meet in the hotel and explain everything and apologize to each other.
But he was the one that was always on Coco.
Yes. And they vote him out.
Yes.
So another step in Coco's favor.
They fumbled the bag for a few episodes.
Yeah.
But
which I think happens in any season. I think it's hard. The Traitors have the advantage. And the first 2 seasons of the Canadian Traitors, spoiler alert, Traitors won.
Yes.
Big spoiler alert, but we're not even recommending you go back and watch.
Season 2 is a train wreck. And
they can't all be good, folks. We're ironing out the imperfections. I would love to play Mario Kart with you.
Later, we will.
Okay.
But we still have a bit to go here. So, again, nothing happens until it's murder time, and there's a twist involving a cursed shield. The traitors have to give the cursed shield to somebody by midnight, or they don't murder anybody, and it's whoever ends up with the cursed shield dies.
So there was some confusion around this episode, and by that I mean within this living room. I don't know what anyone else thinks.
I still don't understand. So there was a letter, the traitors read it, Coco found the shield, then another letter appeared, but was it the same letter?
You had to find... Was it the same letter? No, because that one explained that it was a cursed one.
Right, so... But you
Here's
kept
the thing.
telling me it was they made this up, but they read a letter.
Yes, so they read a letter as the traitors that, okay, behind a skull painting, there is a shield. Like that, I guess probably just looks like every other shield. But whoever you pass it to before midnight will be considered murder. So it's the murder in plain sight. Coco reads this and immediately says, I knew coming into this I wouldn't be able to murder in plain sight. Like, I just wouldn't be able to do it. And yet she immediately goes looking for this shield.
Right.
So does Venus. They obviously don't touch base because Coco finds it, and then Venus is, like, still looking for it. So it must be pretty chaotic.
Yes.
During the filming time in that mansion where they don't stay, right? Kind of ruins it for me. I wish they actually stayed at the manor.
Well,
but then how would you set it up for challenges?
The manor in Scotland that everyone else uses for filming.
No.
Because the one in Scotland, they've like come out and said only like a quarter of it is actually usable, which is the like 4 or 5 rooms we see in the seasons. So I would assume the same, they go to a hotel. But then another letter appears.
Yes.
And they read it.
And it's basically like, you have to give your shield to someone else.
Right. You kept telling me that this wasn't real, so that's why I kept getting confused, that you thought they were just making this up. But here's my thing.
Because why would you have to do that?
But this is my explanation. You have an extra shield now. Coco already has a shield. They know she has a shield. So what justification can you give? Oh, look at this random shield I found, when they know that there's always a murder in plain sight. So Corinne would have to give them a way to make it easier to justify shields moving around. Because it would be weird to just find an extra shield and give it to somebody, and for... Like,
okay, fine. So it's real.
That's you.
No, but I'm on gummies, so obviously you're right. I just thought it was weird because it's like, okay, Corinne gives us this task where this is like a poisonous dagger, and I have to give it to someone before midnight. I can do that however I want. I could just go over to someone right now secretly, be like, listen, I found this in the challenge. I want you to have it. Just lie and hope they don't tell anybody. I could just walk around the mansion and put it somewhere where I think someone is going to find it and pick it up. But then I risk no one finding it, A, or B, someone I actually like finding it.
Right.
Basically, those are your options. Or create this big chaos where everyone is discussing passing shields around.
I just think the way I still don't understand, because it was very complicated.
Okay, it's just you and I are both confused. Because like there were these arbitrary rules that it was like, but you can't tell anybody, you can't know who has it by midnight, but you can't have your own. Like it just sounded made up to me, I think is my problem.
Definitely.
Very convoluted.
But again, I don't think because they didn't meet for so long.
That was just a way of them making it easier on them.
Yeah, that is my guess.
We didn't know that. Or I mean, the people didn't know that. I want some
But
rice.
this led to the downfall of Venus.
Yes.
She starts acting so weird, and everyone that's there is realizing, why is she acting so bizarre?
Because she has a shield.
Right.
But she, like, doesn't... She starts getting mad, well, not really, because she is a traitor, but she starts getting pretend mad that Chala wants everyone to, like, reveal who has the shields. So everyone who has a shield goes in a room together. This, again, is what makes me feel like it's made up, because what kind of weird, made-up gameplay is this? Okay, you guys are the only ones who should be allowed to talk about it, but Chala's basically saying, we're going to tell everyone who has them, and so then Venus's justification is, well, I felt like we were supposed to exchange them so that the traitors didn't know who had the shields, but chances are there was a traitor in the four exchanging the shields.
Right.
Which was Chala's argument back. So it was like, what was the big deal? And so Venus was acting sus. She then gives her shield to Dom. So then Sarah gets offended because Sarah considers herself her BFF. Basically, Venus is just too popular and everyone gets mad when they're not her number one.
Right.
And it's her downfall.
This garnered too much attention against her.
Yeah.
So she is then brought up in the next round table. But
it's a tie.
It is a tie. But then two people swapped to her.
Coco swapped her vote, which I think was a really good move to make herself further look like a faithful.
Yes.
She voted the other direction the first time and then switched it.
It was between Venus and Meredith?
Was it? Because here's the thing. There are like 3 episodes there where I just think it's going to be Meredith every episode until it finally actually is.
Yes. Yes, it was, because then Meredith and Lizette get into a fight afterwards.
Because Lisette changed her vote to vote out Venus.
And Meredith was like,
I don't know you.
Yeah, they were crazy.
They're just very hostile to each other.
It's very bizarre.
Very un-Canadian.
So Venus gets the boot and she reveals she's a traitor and everyone goes crazy. So then it's just Coco at this point, and for the first time, from our watching perspective, Coco tries to recruit Dom, who has a shield, so he can just refuse because he
but not die.
Yeah, he can't die.
Which we don't think has ever been done before.
Right.
Kind of, to me, that's a little bit shaky ground too, but I'll let it pass.
He declines because he wants to be a faithful and would rather be banished than murdered. So then she recruits Chala, who has had a lot of heat this season too, and has started more openly working with their wife.
Like they're married, if we didn't mention that.
Yes.
We did mention that.
Chala and Meredith are married, but they didn't want to reveal that.
Obviously. Which, side note, we hate that the Canadian version doesn't have a reunion, because we don't even get to see their reaction to have been playing together with a couple this whole time.
Yes.
And like in a past Canadian season, there was a secret brother and sister competing together, and we don't get to know people's reaction to that. I guess we should just go on social media and see if people share their thoughts.
I'm going to go on Reddit later.
Okay, cool. Let me know what they say.
So Chala doesn't have a choice. They'd be murdered.
Right.
So they are a traitor along with Coco. And that was in episode 9 out of 10 episodes. And
I didn't realize we were already at the finale when we were at it. So, like, 10 episodes, very digestible.
They banished fan favorite Sarah Nicole, was that her name? Mm-hmm. And then Chala and Coco murdered Jamal, who was one of the leaders at the round table, but was wrong pretty much every week.
Yeah, they were feeling bad for him. They were like, he just really wants to be like, oh yeah, we got one. But he's just wrong every time.
Right. So we go into the final episode with Chala and Coco's Traitors and having Dom Hollywood, a famous choreographer, who was definitely the leader of the round tables. And then who else? Meredith.
Kara wasn't.
No, she was voted out or banished a few episodes.
Somewhere along the way.
Or murdered. Either one.
They murdered her, right? Yeah, they murdered her.
So Coco, Chala, Dom, Hollywood, Meredith, Lizette. It was the 6 of them, right? And then they did 2 banishes. Mm-hmm. So that final episode, final 6, they go to the banishment. You've got 2 pairs now. Mm-hmm. Chala and Meredith have been talking.
Who, they're married, so it's so funny that it's people don't know that, but still see that they have this bond, so still consider them a duo. So at this point, you might as well know that they're married.
Right, and then you have Dom and Hollywood, who have been playing together
who also might as well be married. Yeah. They're not going to turn on each other.
So the vote is between Dom and Meredith, so the two power duos, and Coco, it's a tie, and Corinne says if they tie again, they can't go home. So Coco ends up switching her vote to banish Meredith.
Do you think this was a bad move? I know it ultimately doesn't end up mattering, but I really
Yes,
Coco
I do.
switching her vote twice and being on the right side of it twice is you're in the know. You know what's going on. The heat should be back on.
Here's the problem, though. If you vote out Dom, then because Chala's a traitor, she can make a plan with Meredith to get out Coco in the final fire.
Yes, to me, this is what I was going to say. If Chala had made it to the final 3, they would have won because Meredith would have voted with them. And then they would have made it down to the final 2 the way Dom and Hollywood did.
Spoiler alert.
But then Chala would have won all the money because they're a traitor.
Right.
But then they're married, so It doesn't matter anyway.
So
that's kind of how I thought it was going to go. You looked at me and you're like, there's no way. Meredith is next.
Yes. What they should have done, regardless of the order, is gotten rid of Dom and Meredith in the 2 banishes. That would have removed both power duos. And then So
you can't vote people out just for the sake of... Because, the Canadians are very upfront about the fact that you're probably going to vote out most of the faithfuls at the fire, too. So you're sharing the money with fewer people. You're going to play the 3 game.
Again, I think even for Chala, voting out Meredith would have been a plan, too.
So you think Chala should have changed their vote?
I think, regardless, they should have gotten rid of Dom and Meredith in the banishment. Right. Or Meredith and Hollywood.
Some combination of the pairs.
So you did not have the power.
But instead, they get rid of Meredith and they get rid of Chala.
Yes. Which Coco ended up voting for Chala. It wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
So you have a final 4 of Dom, Hollywood, Lizette, and Coco.
So you already up to this point have said to me you think Coco doesn't have a chance in heck. You think either way... around the bonfire, they play until they vote out Coco, just in case. That's what they meant. Dom basically looked at her and said, we're saving you for later.
Yes. I think Dom and Hollywood said, we are the final 2.
Yeah.
And Lizette and Coco didn't have a discussion to make a plan.
No. Obviously, because Lizette was upset because, spoiler alert, they do vote out Coco.
But this was the shocking one to me. Uh-huh. So in the fire, Dom immediately puts red to vote. Lizette puts red. Hollywood puts red. And the one person that does green is Coco. Which
so way to be like, hey guys, I'm a traitor. Can we end this thing?
But then Hollywood votes for Lizette after Dom votes for Coco.
And Coco voted for Hollywood, right?
Right. So if Lizette would have voted for Hollywood, that would have been a crazy turn of events.
Yes.
But...
And she regrets it because...
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Oh. She, in her little spiel, she basically says, I shouldn't have voted out Omer and should have gone with Coco, and I'm rectifying that mistake.
Wow.
So she does call that correctly, that Coco's a traitor. But then, yes, as we see, Dom votes red, Lizette votes red, Hollywood votes red, and then it's 2 votes.
Lizette has to hope that Dom is going to turn on Hollywood, which, like, there's no chance.
Right. So she gets the boot. She's real pissed. And then Dom reveals that he's a faithful, and Hollywood reveals he's a faithful. So the faithful, for the first time in Canada, win Traitors.
Oh, man. It's good. Go watch it.
This was the first, 4 episodes
Even though we just told you all about it.
are phenomenal. And then from 5 to 7.
Well, I just love the way you jump around. You're like, if they don't get Coco next, this is a bad season because the faithful suck. Then Venus pull this thing where she recruits Rhea, throws the smoke on her for an episode, and you're like, actually, never mind. Venus just made a move that's good enough that, it's now impressive that Coco is staying.
Yes.
That made me want Coco to win. I kind of got deflated a little bit when Venus left. I would love to see her on my screen again. You mentioned that you wished she was going to be on Survivor 50.
I think, yeah, she was the as Hollywood put it, you had the...
Yes, once they saw Kevin, so you have, the mad
scientist traitor. The emotional traitor was Coco. And
Or Rhea.
Yeah. And so there had to be a mastermind traitor.
A cool, calm, and collected, like the logistics gal.
Yes, that was Venus. They were on to her.
But they also considered it Meredith. That's why I thought they were going to vote her out so many times.
Yeah, but
then I think she was a bit emotional, too. She and Lizette really both went after each other. Coco was very honest with Meredith that she's like, I think you kind of go off the rails, too.
But Meredith also had Chala sort of behind the scenes dissuading people from voting.
Right. But also blowing smoke up her butt, being like, oh, yeah, I don't like Lizette either.
Right.
But they did have this weird hate on for each other.
It was very bizarre, yes. I think the Omer vote, if he was...
Changed things.
He's a Survivor veteran. I can't believe that they turned against him so easily when he was... After Kevin outed Coco, and he was like, what are we doing here? We should be voting Coco, and then they got him out. That was the one time I thought it was a bad gameplay move.
Like these idiots.
Yes. But then when you have the Rhea play, Venus, MVP of the season.
I agree. I wish she'd gotten further. I want to immediately start another season.
Yes, we have Celebrity UK to watch, which is exciting.
So that means it's all celebrities. Is it more so celebrities like the CTs and the Johnny Bananas and the Real Housewives of the world celebrities?
I don't know UK celebrities, so...
Well, that's the thing. We might know some of them because we've watched some Love Island stuff. That's true. That's what I'm wondering, because isn't that where, what's her name? The crier? Fuck. The guy she was with, wasn't
Aaron,
he from
yes.
Traitors?
Yeah, well, he was, season 1.
So was he famous before? You know what I mean? Is that what they mean by celebrities? It's just all people that have done this before? Because wasn't he a normie on the first season of
Yes,
Traitors?
I think that was his first big thing, was Traitors.
Right, so now then you come on it again and you're inherently not a normie. Is it that level of celebrity, or is it like celebrities?
I have no idea.
Me neither.
Probably that level.
Right. But in different ways.
Like, it's not going to be Victoria Beckham.
No, I understand
and we have
that. But Mama Kelsey is going to be
Yes.
on the Canadian one.
No.
So that's what I mean.
She's on
no,
the US,
American
which
one's
comes
great.
out, what, next week or the week after?
Yes, but I don't want that time to come because then I have to go back to her.
And it's going to be weekly again. Boo. I think you make Donna Kelsey a traitor.
No.
But it is the US one going to be, is it all celebrities again, right?
I don't know.
Yes, it is. They did the first season was what, half and half, and have done fully celebrities.
I feel like we need to explain why you don't like Housewives. It's because they're not gamers, so they play with their emotions.
But
And they're the furthest from being gamers because, like you said, at least now the normies who are coming in are coming in with knowledge. Like, you're casting strategic people, A, or B, you're casting lovers of the game who want to play hard. So the Housewives are the furthest away from that because they've never done anything like this before and really don't know how it works in a lot of cases. That's what bothers you.
yes, and I'm hopeful this season on the US season, because there are housewives again, that they know what the game is. Again,
And you should be able to find, like, I thought Gabby, even though she was from The Bachelor / Bachelorette, I thought she did a good job.
Oh,
Her
she was
instincts were
awesome,
off
yeah.
some of the time, but when she was right, she really, like, played well.
But this is my, like, that, yes, that's great. You can be wrong. I have a problem when it's a housewife that's just complaining about being there the whole freaking season. Like, was it Tamra or...
We've had a couple.
There have been a
right?
couple that are just complaining. They don't want to do anything.
Wasn't Kate a complainer?
Yes.
But she was from... Well, then that would make sense because she's not from a competition show. She's from Below Deck, right?
Like, Phaedra was great, right?
Yeah, I think so.
She was engaged and wanted to figure things out. But it's when you're so emotional and you don't really pay attention to anything.
Like, you just lock in on someone for all the wrong reasons because they hurt your feelings.
Rhea was a terrible player in, like, but she was an outlier this season.
Yeah, agreed.
I still can't believe it. We're going to vote Omer. I'm going to convince everyone to vote Omer. I'm voting
for Dom.
For Dom. Everyone's like, what?
That's another reason I want there to be a reunion. I need to know that she and Jericho are still friends.
Yes. Poor Jericho. Bawling.
He had to look like a fool. And then you look at him crying at the round table about what just happened, and you're somehow like, yeah, he's another traitor.
Right.
Huh? I know it gets more complicated as you keep going because you have to factor in, well, someone might have just been recruited last night.
Right.
So now the whole game has shifted because someone who I could trust, I can no longer trust.
Right.
That gets harder.
It does. But great season.
I mean, with Chala, do you think they think Chala was a traitor?
Well, Dom and Hollywood alluded to it going into the final round table.
Yes, I want to get some of, especially because they don't, towards the end, they don't reveal it. So you walk off and you don't tell people whether you were a traitor or faithful. I think that makes it much harder.
Yes.
But is necessary.
I think
the bonfire would be like too easy without
I
it.
feel like they, as a whole, had to have thought either Chala or Meredith was a traitor, and that Coco
in order to
was,
do that, like
yes.
1-2.
And that,
And it doesn't really matter. The final round table is more like just an extension of the bonfire. If you know you have the votes, you're just picking them all off.
right. And if you have a pair that you trust, it's to get rid of the people you
It's
think
so
that can
powerful. Yep.
outvote you. Yes.
Yep.
So you have to think of that moving forward now.
Right. They needed to, like I just said, they needed to consider the last round table.
Which if
an
Dom
extension of the bonfire.
had
which
accepted
Dom and Hollywood
being a
obviously
traitor, Dom would have won the money.
Like, by himself.
I don't think he would have been. I think the game.
But he would have felt bad about it. I think he honestly wanted to win with Hollywood.
Yes. So Dom and Hollywood win. They split the 93,000.
I think that's so awesome.
Yes, Dom was he really because he didn't win the mole season 1 on Netflix.
Didn't find love on Perfect Match.
Did not find love on Perfect Match.
Was a little desperado, but we'll forgive it.
And yeah, was he on the camp show?
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't win that either.
So. Yeah, wow. So
good for Dom.
Third time's the charm. Or
I hope
time,
keep putting Dom on these shows. I will watch.
I agree. He plays. He tries.
And I'm very happy Hollywood won because from the get-go, he really took control of the round table and made sure that people brought stuff up and would talk, unlike previous seasons.
He was another good moderator. Yeah, same way Kara was.
In the previous Canadian seasons, the first person to mention a name, that name was then steamrolled.
And then everyone else was quiet. That's why I think the season is so good.
Yes.
There are conversations. There are people asking each other direct questions, like naming someone and being like, explain your behavior, explain why you did this, like, what is your perspective on this? I just think it's the way a round table should go.
Yes.
It's the reason the table is round.
Yes. So, I think that's a good stopping point.
I do too, guys. Please watch it.
Yes, watch it.
Please watch. We'll watch the American one with you if it's easier to access when it starts in January. Please watch it with us. We will definitely watch that week to week.
Yes.
Okay. We love you guys.
See ya.
Please keep listening and like and follow and share and comment and emoji.
All the things.
Goodbye.